Have you ever felt like you're playing whack-a-mole with your life? You know, you finally knock down one challenge, maybe you get your health sorted, only to look up and see your career is stalling, or maybe your relationships feel a bit empty.
Yeah, that feeling of fragmentation, like you level up in one area, but everything else stays stuck or even kind of quietly degrades.
Exactly. If that sounds familiar to you listening, well, you're definitely in the right place today. Because we're diving deep into this really fascinating, timely model designed for exactly this kind of modern problem.
Mhm.
We've pulled together a bunch of sources, mainly looking at Dan Koe's work on Human 3.0, which is, well, it's quite something. It synthesizes decades of research from flow psychology, developmental models, modern vocational theory.
It really calls a lot together.
It does. And our mission for you today is to give you a comprehensive map, basically a shortcut to understanding how you can become, well, multidimensionally strong, or as Koe calls it, kind of provocatively, multidimensionally jacked.
Yeah.
Right, to maximize your potential across all the big areas of life, not just fixating on one. We're talking mind, body, spirit, and your work, your vocation, all integrated.
And what's really insightful, I think, is how it highlights this single domain blindness in a lot of self-help stuff.
Right, like focusing only on profit.
Exactly.
All right.
Optimize for profit,
All right.
but ignore the cost to your health, your relationships, or, go all in on spiritual growth, but forget you still need to pay the bills. It creates this fragmented approach.
Yeah, unsustainable.
Totally. So this deep dive, it's really about bridging those gaps, showing you how all these dimensions are connected, how they influence each other, especially now, with the internet, AI changing everything.
Okay, let's unpack this blueprint then. This idea for a more integrated human 3.0 existence. Let's see what it means for you.
So the foundation is built on these four quadrants, right? Four life dimensions. You can think of them as the main areas you need to develop, sort of in parallel for real integration.
Okay, 4 areas. And the model uses this interval framework. Yeah. Interior, exterior, individual, collective.
That's right. It gives structure. And this quadrant thing, it helps avoid what the model calls partial thinking,
Partial thinking, meaning.
meaning you reduce a complex problem down to just one viewpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe you feel mentally blocked and you think, oh, I just need a new job. But maybe the root isn't vocational at all. Maybe it's spiritual or relational.
Ah, I see. So each quadrant gives you a different lens to look through to find the real issue.
Exactly. You're not just treating symptoms.
So what are these 4 quadrants? Let's define them quickly for everyone listening. What's the core question for each?
Okay. First, mind. That's your interior individual world. The question is, how do you make sense of reality? So thinking, emotions, beliefs, awareness, your personal mental OS.
Got it. Mind. Next.
Then, body. Exterior individual. The question, how do you embody your potential? Health, energy, movement, appearance, your physical presence in the world, how you show up physically.
Okay, mind, body.
Third is spirit. That's interior collective. How do you connect and create meaning? So relationships, purpose, community, transcendence, the shared mental emotional space.
Right, the connection piece. And the last one.
Finally, vocation. Exterior collective. How do you create value and impact? Career, money, the systems you build, your legacy, your contribution to the shared physical world.
Mind, body, spirit, vocation. And the key is they're not separate boxes, right?
Yeah.
They're constantly interacting.
Absolutely. Constantly.
Yeah.
A problem in your body, like you said, low energy, it might make it way harder to build those deep spirit connections or focus your mind or perform in your vocation. It's all linked.
Okay, that makes sense. But then within these areas, there are levels.
Yes. Within each quadrant, the model maps out 3 distinct levels of consciousness development. It's not about good or bad. It's about increasing complexity, perspective,
Yeah.
agency, really.
So how do you actually progress through these levels? It's not just learning more facts, right?
No, exactly. That's horizontal growth, just adding information. This is vertical development. It's adapted from developmental psychology, showing predictable stages where you actually change how you think, how you see the world. Upgrading your whole operating system, not just the apps.
Okay, upgrading the OS. What does that progression look like?
Well, it generally starts with level 1.0, the conformist. Here, you're mostly operating on external rules, tradition, one right way thinking. The model calls it the NPC, like a non-player character in a game, running on scripts, seeking security by fitting in.
Okay, the NPC, following the rules. Then what?
Then you might move to level 2.0, the individualist. This is where you start rejecting norms, setting your own goals, developing internal authority. You become the main character, writing your own story. often driven by achievement, status, freedom. It's that shift from maybe an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset.
Taking charge.
Right, the main character arc.
And the highest level.
Level 3.0, the synthesist. Here, you can integrate multiple perspectives. You're comfortable with paradox. You might even create new frameworks or systems for others. You become the programmer, designing new games. You choose focus strategically, not from limitation, but from principle.
Programmer level. Okay. And you said you don't just ditch the old levels.
Exactly, that's key. You transcend and include them. You gain a bigger perspective that lets you use the useful parts of earlier stages, but consciously. You don't abandon them entirely.
That transcend and include idea, it feels important. I mean, I used to think I had to totally reject my past experiences to move forward. How does actually using the earlier levels help someone practically?
Well, it allows for flexibility and efficiency. A level 3 synthesis isn't always operating at peak complexity. They might use level 1 conformity for simple stuff, like, following traffic rules, why reinvent the wheel? Or they might harness that level 2 drive for achievement to push through on a big project that benefits many.
Okay, so it's about having access to the full toolkit.
Precisely. Let's make it concrete with money. The 3 levels of money really shows this evolution.
Yeah, let's hear that.
Okay, survival level 1. Money is your master. You're just making enough to get by. Work feels like suffering. That whole money is evil idea. Often a level 1 perspective.
Right, scarcity mindset.
Then success, level 2. Money becomes a scoreboard. You make enough to matter, to achieve, to be seen as valuable. You're driven, definitely. But you can easily just build yourself a fancier cage, a new kind of 9 to 5, even if you're the boss.
The golden handcuffs situation.
Could be. Finally, sacred level 3. Money is seen as energy for authentic creation. Work becomes play. Your success is tied to helping others, building regenerative things. You can make a lot, but it doesn't own you because it serves a bigger purpose.
That's a powerful shift in perspective. But, how many people think they're at level 3 with money, but are maybe still caught in that level 2 need for validation? What's the telltale sign? How do you know, really?
That's a great question. I think one of the biggest tells is the source of validation. Is it internal or external? Level 2 often still relies heavily on outside recognition, status, proving something. Level 3. The drive is intrinsic. The work itself is the reward. The money is, well, fuel for more meaningful creation.
So maybe asking yourself, would I still do this with this much passion if nobody ever found out?
Exactly. That's a good litmus test. Does the validation come from the process and the impact, or from the external applause?
Okay, so these levels exist, but how do you actually move between them? It's not like flipping a switch, right?
Not at all. It's usually gradual and often uncomfortable. The model describes 3 predictable phases you cycle through within each level, sometimes without even realizing it. This is that vertical climb.
Phases within the levels. Okay, what are they?
First is phase X.1 dissonance. This is when your old ways just stop feeling right. A subtle dissatisfaction, maybe restlessness, boredom, even if things look good on the outside. It's that struggle phase. Something new wants to emerge, but your current setup feels off.
The uh-oh, this isn't working anymore feeling.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And often, this is when your anti-vision, the life you absolutely don't want, gets super clear.
Okay, dissonance, then?
If you lean into that discomfort, you hit phase X.2, uncertainty, the unknown. Your old identity might feel like it's dissolving. Everything seems possible and impossible at once. Huge growth potential here, but also, maximum vulnerability. You're experimenting, trying things out.
Messy middle.
The messy middle, yeah. Dancing between secure and insecure. Then, hopefully, you reach phase X.3, discovery, the breakthrough. New patterns click into place. You get clarity. Your new identity starts to solidify. You find what works for this new level, and your brain rewards you dopamine, serotonin, reinforcing the new way.
Ah, the aha moment solidifies.
Right. And the crucial thing for you, listening, is that this cycle repeats. Discovery leads to the stability, which eventually leads to new dissonance, but at a higher level. Problems aren't roadblocks, they're the fuel. Solving them is the evolution.
Okay, that reframes challenges quite a bit, but sometimes growth feels faster, like a sudden leap.
Yes. The model calls these channels, periods of intense, almost obsessive focus and development. You can compress years of normal growth into months.
Channels. Okay, how do those work?
They often get triggered during that dissonance phase, all that restless energy. If you can channel it, focus it instead of scattering it, you might get completely sucked into a topic, a project, like that programmer lost in coding a breakthrough or the athlete suddenly making huge gains.
Total immersion, flow state kind of thing.
Exactly. Obsessive learning, building, time distorts, unstoppable focus. So if you feel that intense pull, that curiosity, the advice is lean into it. That's your channel opening up.
Got it. Follow the obsession. But what if you want to push even harder, beyond those natural surges?
Now we're talking glitches. High-risk, high-reward accelerators. They force rapid development by breaking normal constraints, like finding a bug in a game to level up fast, but potentially breaking the game. Or yourself.
Okay, high risk. What are examples?
Well, the model mentions things like psychedelics for maybe spirit breakthroughs, certain performance enhancers for body development, even extreme financial pressure, like taking on debt you can barely handle to force vocation growth.
Whoa, okay. That sounds intense. And risky.
Extremely risky, which is why the model has this critical risk scaling by consciousness level framework.
Yeah.
It's crucial for you to grasp this.
Lay it on us. How does the risk scale?
Okay. Level 1.0 plus glitch, death sentence, basically.
Right.
Without a solid foundation self-awareness, internal authority, you just can't integrate these intense things. Think psychosis from psychedelics if you're not ready, or completely losing your mind to AI dependence, like giving a toddler a chainsaw, the model says.
Oof. Okay. Level 1, stay away. What about level 2?
Level 2.0 plus glitch, high risk reward. You've got some foundation, but the risks are still very real. Bad trips, unhealthy dependencies, using the glitch to just fuel ego. It requires serious preparation, clear intention, strong support systems. Absolutely essential.
Still very dight.
Very. Then you get to level 2.5, 3.0 plus glitch, calculated risk. At this higher level, you have a strong enough internal structure to make conscious choices, understand the real potential consequences, and actually extract value while minimizing harm. You've usually maxed out your natural potential first, using glitches more like fine-tuning tools.
So you need the foundation before you even think about the accelerator. That level 1 plus glitch death sentence is stark. Is there a danger people at level 2 might overestimate their readiness? See it as a shortcut when they still need foundational work?
Oh, absolutely. Self-deception is a massive risk, particularly at level 2, where that drive for achievement can really cloud judgment. The model hammers this point. Master natural potential first. Build strong mental models. Get your body robust. Develop deep relationships. Have a clear vocational path. Then maybe consider accelerators. If you're eyeing a glitch to fix fundamental issues, you're probably not ready.
That makes sense. Build the engine before adding nitrous oxide.
Good analogy. And speaking of glitches that affect everything, AI, the model calls it the ultimate metaglitch.
Metaglitch. Why?
Because it's the only one impacting all 4 quadrants simultaneously right now. Huge potential for acceleration, huge potential for, well, problems.
How so across all 4?
Well, mind, knowledge synthesis, boosted thinking, body, personalized health protocols, spirit, philosophical exploration, maybe new forms of connection, vocation, automation, leverage, building faster. Huge upside.
But the risks.
Also huge. AI psychosis, losing touch with reality, outsourcing your actual thinking, identity confusion, what's you, what's the AI, and just fundamentally mistaking AI capability for your own development, learning to use it without losing your agency, your ethics. That's maybe the challenge of our time. It could boost you to 3.0 or lock you into a dependent 1.0 state.
Wow. Okay, so this isn't just personal navel-gazing. This individual development, it connects to bigger things.
Massively. It's crucial to see why this journey matters more now than maybe ever before. The model links it directly to the state of the world through this idea of the meta-crisis.
The meta-crisis. I've heard that term. It's not just one crisis, right?
No, it's the interconnected web of all the big global crises, climate, politics, economy, mental health, you name it, all stemming from deeper underlying structural patterns. This draws a lot from Daniel Schmachtenberger's work.
And these patterns are called generator functions.
Exactly, like code that generates the problems we see on the surface. Trying to fix the symptoms mopping the floor without fixing the generator function turning off the tap is, well, futile. It also connects to what's called the assignment versus agency crisis.
Assignment versus agency.
Yeah, the idea that most people are running on assignments goals given by society, jobs they don't like, consumerism instead of acting from self-generated purpose or agency. And that lack of agency actually fuels the systems causing the meta-crisis.
Okay, so what are these core generator functions? The model identifies 3.
It does. First, rivalrous dynamics. Basically, win-lose games. My gain is your loss. Arms races, corporate competition, even social media fighting for your attention span.
Zero-sum games.
Right. Interestingly, the model suggests flow states are inherently anti-rivalrous. You get satisfaction from the activity itself, not from beating someone. And that self-monetization principle, solve your own problem, sell the solution, is anti-rivalrous too. Your success relies on helping others succeed.
Okay, rivalry. What's the second?
Substrate consumption. This is when systems chew through their own foundations faster than they regenerate. Think industrial farming killing topsoil, or the attention economy burning out our cognitive capacity.
Using things up faster than they can recover.
Precisely. Csikszentmihalyi called attention psychic energy. When it's constantly consumed, we lose our ability to even order our consciousness. The suggested antidote here on a personal level is that work evolution, job to career to calling. Shifting from extraction to regeneration in your own work.
Right, finding work that fuels you instead of drains you. And the third generator.
Exponential technology. Tools improving at accelerating rates, faster than our wisdom can keep up. AI, genetic engineering, social media algorithms.
Stuff moving too fast for us to handle wisely.
Yeah, the complexity technology gap. Our consciousness evolves kind of linearly, tech goes exponential, big gap, big danger. The model stresses writing as a meta skill. Here, learning to think clearly, learn effectively, communicate precisely when AI is making basic technical skills a commodity.
Think clearly to navigate the complexity. Wow. And these three, rivalry, consumption, expo tech, they interact.
Catastrophically. That's the convergence crisis. Rivalry plus expo tech gives you AI-powered weapons, for instance. It's a dangerous mix.
Okay, so it sounds pretty bleak if these generators keep running unchecked. Collapse or control.
Those seem like the default paths, yeah. Which raises the huge question, is there another way? The model proposes a third option, building an anti-rivalrous civilization.
Anti-rivalrous, where my success actually depends on your success.
Literally, structurally coupled for mutual thriving. Think healthy organs in a body or nodes in a well-designed decentralized network. Deep interdependence.
That sounds radically different.
It is. And the window to build it, it's closing fast. Which brings us back to why your development matters so much right now. You can't build anti-rivalrous systems with rivalrous minds.
The inner state reflects the outer system.
Exactly. Complex global problems need people who can think systemically, integrate perspectives. Our powerful tech demands proportional wisdom. Human 3.0 isn't just self-help for a competitive edge. It's about developing the capacity to even participate in this necessary shift for humanity. It feels like a race, honestly. Human development versus collapse.
Okay. That puts a lot of weight on individual growth. So, practically, how does someone listening start applying this? Where do you begin?
The model suggests starting with the anti-vision principle. Instead of getting lost trying to define some perfect future, which can feel vague, start with what you absolutely refuse to accept anymore.
Start with the no.
Yeah, it's often much clearer, much more motivating initially. It gives you that positive source of negative energy to push off from. Ask yourself, what mental state, physical state, relationship dynamic, work situation is just intolerable now? What are you done with?
Find the pain point you're ready to solve.
Exactly. And once you have that anti-vision, the next step is simple in concept. Life is problem solving. Solve one problem and the solution reveals the next, usually more interesting problem.
Okay, so embrace the problems.
Yes. The model even has a problem hierarchy. Survival problems, health crisis, rent money come first. Then stability, growth, integration, all the way up to meta-crisis problems. You can't really jump levels. Your mind won't even grasp higher problems until lower ones are handled. So use a problem-first approach. Find your main constraint now. Apply minimum effective development, just enough effort to solve that. Free up resources. Tackle the next one. It creates this upward spiral.
Identify the bottleneck, fix it, move to the next. Makes sense. And what about recognizing patterns of imbalance?
The lifestyle archetypes. These are just common patterns of how the quadrants interact, often out of whack. You might recognize yourself.
Like what? Give us an example.
Well, there's the workaholic. Vocation is maxed out, consumes all energy, mind stressed, body neglected, spirit empty.
Right.
Sound familiar to anyone?
Probably a few nods out there. Any others?
Or the seeker, maybe rich in spirit, deep in mind exploration, but lacking vacation, can't pay the bills, and maybe neglects the body. Prone to spiritual bypassing, avoiding practical life problems by focusing only on the transcendent.
Right, so the goal isn't some rigid equal balance.
No, it's integration, where the quadrants start to support each other naturally. Your vocation energizes your spirit, your healthy body supports a clear mind, and so on. Synergy, not just balance.
Okay, integration. Now, how does this all connect back to today's world, the internet, AI?
That's the digital leverage path. It highlights how tools like the internet, social media, AI offer absolutely unprecedented permissionless leverage to individuals.
Permissionless leverage. Meaning you don't need anyone's approval to build something.
Exactly. The gatekeepers are largely gone. How can you create value today? The model suggests become the niche. Solve your own problems, authentically. Then share or sell those solutions. Your unique journey, your struggles, your insights. That is your competitive advantage now.
So your personal development becomes your vocation.
It can, yes. That's how the work evolution, job, career, calling happens organically now. You build something meaningful from your own core, creating markets based on genuine value, not just hype.
Build a media platform, courses, software products, all amplified by AI.
All possible. It's not just content creation in the shallow sense. It's authentic value creation, scaled globally, potentially, from your unique position, making your life work truly possible at an individual level like never before.
Wow. Okay. So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for everyone listening? We've covered a lot: the quadrants, levels, phases, channels, glitches, AI, the meta crisis.
I think the core message is that your development, your journey towards becoming more integrated, sovereign, wise, it isn't just personal anymore. It's actively participating in what humanity needs to do next. Every step you take contributes to the possibility of that anti-rivalrous future we talked about.
It feels like there's no neutral ground anymore.
There really isn't. You're either perhaps unknowingly part of the systems causing problems, or you're consciously tripped to be part of the solution, consuming substrate or creating regeneratively, following assignments or generating agency. The knowledge is out there. The tools exist.
The urgent question is whether you'll use them.
Right. And remember that idea. Your purpose is often found right where your suffering begins. You get to choose what you suffer for.
So your anti-vision, that life you refuse to accept, it's actually calling you towards the life you're meant to create. The problems aren't roadblocks.
They're the curriculum. Exactly. The perfect curriculum for your next level.
So the question we leave you with is, what's the next problem you're truly ready to solve?